So basically, what we're gonna do is we're going to start the show. We're gonna do a little ad read, play some music, which you won't be able to hear, introduce ourselves. I'll come on and introduce you, and from there, we're just gonna have a conversation. Like we're gonna talk about your upcoming show. I have a few questions written down. Nothing major. We're just basically gonna shoot the shit. So.
Oh yeah, I'm down. I'm looking
Awesome.
for my fucking tripod.
No problem, dude. When Carson came on, the whole episode, he was just walking around his entire house. So like anyone who watched it on
Yeah,
YouTube got a whole tour of Carson Taylor's house.
like welcome to Cribs, yo. This is my spot. You catch me in Pensacola so I can buy another Marvel poster.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right. You ready to do
Yeah,
the ad read?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are, buddy.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
This episode of the Open Micers podcast is brought to you by that absolute filthy, dirty motherfucker, BJ DeBlow. He knows exactly what he did. He would have started his own podcast, but he was too chicken shit. So he decided to just sponsor ours. And to digress a little bit, we'd like to give a shout out to our newest patron, Mike Eveland. Thank you so much for not being like BJ DeBlow. And we're going to start our show right now.
That music can only mean one thing. It is time for the Open Micers podcast. My name is Jason Robbins.
I'm gay, and our guest tonight is an amazing headliner. Native to, I believe, Tallahassee, Florida. I think I'm correct about that. It's Tallahassee, right, Tekk? Yeah,
Yes,
native
sir.
to Tallahassee, Florida. You can see him headlining for Yikes Comedy at Black Sheep Tavern November 5th in Pensacola, Florida. It's Tekk Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for coming on, brother.
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Good. How are you, sir? It's been a while.
Dude, it has been a while. It's been like, what, 2.5 years at least? I think the end of 2019?
Yeah, some
so.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
both
I
me and
think,
Jason were we were openers on a show that you were headlining in Pensacola back when we were like horrible open micers. So we bombed so fucking hard. We've both become so much better comedians since the last time you've talked to
dude,
us.
that's awesome.
But
Well, hopefully we'll get
You
to
guys are great. I don't get it.
hopefully we
Like,
get to
you
see
guys
you
are
again
fucking
soon. Because, like I said, it's been way too long since we've seen you. At least since the beginning of the pandemic, at least. So what have you been up to in the past
Oh my.
almost 2 years?
Holy shit, man. What are we doing like a full flashback? Like,
Sure, why not?
yeah, flashback episode. I'm here for it.
When I was once a lad. No. 2019 was really cool because I did like a lot of traveling. And then start a pandemic, that's when I was like meeting you guys and meeting everyone from like different places in the Gulf. And it was really cool. And then pandemic happened and I was depressed like the rest of the country. I didn't do shit, man. I didn't do a damn thing. I restarted all my favorite anime. I burned through like Samurai Champloo twice, and we did some like Zoom comedy, and that was a thing. Uh, Zoom
Yeah.
Zoom comedy was fun. It was a nice way to be like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to just do comedy for no one.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
reminds me of my regular open mic.
oh yeah, dude. Like it will definitely like sock you back into place, and you're just like, oh man. It's the whole time. Like as a comedian, I feel like our main thing is like we have to keep going and always be progressing. So for everyone to just stop, I think that was like a weird thing. I know it was weird for me. Like I became a part-time sex worker. Like it got weird. Like there was a lot of weird shit happening, but it was cool, man. It's
Yeah,
like a nice little like it's Oz.
yeah, I wanted to ask you about your OnlyFans and like what you do on there. I mean, do you ever, because you're a comedian, like do you put any funny quips with pictures of your giant black cock, or is it just what is it?
What's great? I actually have like two separate ones. So
Yeah.
it's like my dick has its own ego, and then there's like my comedy ego. And like my dick has more followers. So like I don't know what the fuck that tells you about it, but like
Must be a nice dick.
it does good. It does good. I can't toot my horn, but for 350 I will toot my horn.
You know, that sounds like a low price, but the fact that I would show it to anyone for free, like it's not a low price.
Nah, man, you got to think higher of yourself. Like, never think at least like the minimum you can charge people. Like, my account started as free. Like, it didn't even matter. And then I was like, I wonder. And like, yeah, so like, I say it's part time because it's like working like a manager at like a really shitty local place. It's like it doesn't cover bills, but it pays for pizza on a regular basis, and that's pretty dope. Like that's as a comedian, that's what you look for.
Yeah,
Like
I was gonna
you can
ask
sit
what
there.
what does the monthly intake look like on something like that?
Oh my god. I sell to a lot of moms and secretly gay fathers. So like during the holidays, I can literally watch my sales drop where I'm like, oh, look at school clothes is getting bought, like instead of my dick pics, like you stupid bitch. Like, but it's cool. Like it wavers. I think I think I make like 300 to 400 a month.
Jesus.
Gee, that's more than we make
Yeah.
here.
That's good money, man. That's a lot.
Like yeah, it's not. And if I'm lazy, like it's not like I also have like a day job and I do comedy, so it's literally it was this hobby I picked up when like comedy stopped because my ego was like, hey man, we need praise. Or we're gonna get sad, the big sad. So I was like, well, I do some weird
Yeah, I feel like if I started an OnlyFans, I would have to like pay people $10 to look at it. It's not a good business model for me.
shit. Do the comedy route, like the pay up as you go up kind of thing.
Yeah, I have to do bringer OnlyFans. I have to bring 5 of my friends, get a 2-drink minimum to look at it.
You'll have the only fans that actually cost you money every month.
Yeah,
Be like,
yeah,
hey
not,
man, I'm going into debt. What's your gambling? No, it's not gambling. It's keeping
I
people
pay
on my only.
I pay people to show them my dick.
yeah.
I'm paying for subs. Like, dude, I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. And dumb.
This OnlyFans thing is shit, man.
I mean, it is bad. Like, it's not something since I've started back doing comedy. I don't like hit it as hard as like the year where I was like, let's sext while I'm doing a smoke break because it's like a $10 session, so it's easy money. Like, and it's just it's fun, man. It helps. Like that's why I love when you start the conversation like I'm gay. Welcome to the show. I'm like, dude, I'm bi. It's cool, man.
I'm not
Like,
actually gay, by
everybody-
the way, just so
No,
everyone
I know,
knows.
I know. I've
Okay.
seen your set. Like, I see you have a very straight dude set, and it's
Oh,
like,
thanks,
it's
man.
a good, like it's a good set. Like
Yeah.
I had someone recently tell me like, I can't believe you use straight as an insult. I'm like, I'm just saying, like a drag race strip. You're so
Yeah.
straight. Like, it's
Well,
cool.
my set has evolved so much. So like I bombed at a biker bar really hard recently because I sat down with my set and I realized afterwards the reason why I bombed because I have so many jokes that the premise is just I might be gay, and biker dudes don't like that apparently.
No, they don't, man. You got to add some flavor into it.
I guess
the
just-
way I have a stereotypical way that I win over bikers. In Florida, you'll end up doing a random biker bar that has like a colorful name. It'll be like, the blonde pineapple, and then you'll pull up and it's nothing but Harleys outside. You're like, dude, that's a very. I thought I was doing it for 30-year-old women. Instead, I'm doing it for 40-year-old, like very angry white men. And I always go the Sons of Anarchy route. It's like a fun one, but I always talk about how much they probably hate them, and it always goes. I do fucking hate those people, but I love that show, and I'm like, yeah, there we go, buddy. Like, we're warming up. We're fine.
Yeah,
like, my granddad.
You say that. I actually did one of those biker bars a couple of months ago in Pensacola. Thought I was going to die while I was there, but actually had one of the best sets of my life. I was like, this is awesome.
Same. Dude, same. I love crowds like that. Like, those are the crowds that really make you wake up and go, okay, am I going to be a comedian tomorrow? Why? Because last night was really bad. Like, really fucking bad. Like, if I did this bad as a forklift driver, it would be on YouTube tomorrow. Like, that's how fucking bad I did. And you just see it, and you're like, all right, yeah, I guess I'll do another 5. And then you slowly inch your way towards that one fucked up mark that you just bombed at, and then you get back into it.
Yeah.
Or you don't. And you're just like, I'm cool with flipping pancakes. That shit hurt.
Well, same thing.
Like,
You say that, but literally that's what happened to me over the last couple of months. Me and Jacob did a show in Pensacola. When was that show, Jacob? Was it last?
Fuck me, dude. I don't know, like March or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was around March or something. I bombed so hard. Like, you could have nicknamed me Hiroshima after that, dude. I bombed so hard that night. And I literally sat there for about 3 days wondering if I wanted to be a comedian again. I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
It was that bad.
It was bad. It was real bad. And then to come back to Pensacola, like, a couple of months later, to a biker bar, which I show up. This place already looks like Roadhouse, like the movie Roadhouse. And the guy working the door looks like Sam Elliott. I'm like, okay, where's Patrick Swayze? There's Harleys. There's Harleys on the stage.
Yeah.
And then I go to the bathroom, and I think we lost Tekk. He's like,
no, he's still there.
He's like,
he just got to grab something real quick.
He's like, fuck your story. I don't.
I'm listening. I'm listening. We're Blair Witching it.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear me.
So then I go to the bathroom, and while I'm at the urinal, I see advertisements for a gun range and bail bondsman. I'm like, I better take all the Trump jokes out of this set tonight.
Oh, wait, I'm coming back. I'm coming back just because I love that. So,
but that ended up being like one of the best sets ever. It was awesome.
Yeah, dude. I think my favorite, like, terrified of Trump people thing, I watched a college kid comedian, like, take his Kaepernick jersey off before he got on stage. And I was like, that's not going to help. Like, if the jersey was on in the first place, you still going to say things that are not going to make him happy. Like,
yeah.
He was like, I'm just nervous. I'm just scared. And I was like, it's fuck these people, man. Like, they're people. They listen to Comic View and all that shit just like us. Like, they're fine. And he ended up doing great, and I loved it because I was like, see what happens when you're not a scared little bitch? Like, stop being afraid of white people, man.
Yeah. Hey, white people, fuck you, man.
He's a 6'4", like, white Jewish fellow. I'm like, dude, I'm 5'8", like, and hella black and hella kind of gay. Like, there's a lot. Like, if I can do it, you can do it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's fun though. I think Florida is a good training manual for comedy.
That
is true.
You think you're good? Go do 20 minutes in an oyster bar, like full of regulars who already are eating.
Yeah.
Like like that is a hard crowd. I love when people go like comedy clubs are probably really intense. I'm like, dude, you ever been scared because you're doing a set next to a swamp? So you're not really sure what's coming through the bush, but you hear something coming through the bush, but you can't let it fuck up your set. And he's like, no. I was like, then that's not a comedy club. I'll figure out. That's people. Like I've had to deal with wildlife in Florida. Like I've had a raccoon come up on stage with me just to be like, "What the fuck are you?" I like crowd work is easy when you can do it with like a bunch of tiger owners in the same room as you, and I love it. Like,
Yeah, man.
people ask me,
No, go ahead.
no, do you think?
Okay, I was just gonna say, I mean, I've headlined enough shows in Florida to know that, like, if I bring someone with me to like open for me at a show in Florida, like, I better make sure that they're actually really prepared, because that can
Yeah.
sink you as a comedian. Like, if you don't already have your chops and you're doing like these biker bars in Florida, like you mentioned birds, if you're doing these fucking rough like pool halls and shit like that, that's what makes you a comedian. Because once you get to the comedy clubs, that shit's easy.
That's exactly what Florida is. It's a test of inner strength. If you want to be a
It
comedian,
really, it really is.
you never know what you're going to experience while you're there. I mean, me and Jacob, just the two of us have experienced, bar fights, uh, like pretty much everything
Oh
you
my
can
God.
imagine.
It's like nothing like saying, "How's everybody doing tonight?" and you continue to hear an argument like as you're talking, but you hear it escalating. You're like, "This dude's about to get knocked the fuck out." Like, I don't have a punchline for this, but he will. Like, that's fucked up. Like,
That's almost exactly what happened. Like, literally, the host of the night got on the mic and was like, "Hey, you guys want to listen to some comedy?" And we just hear from the back of the room, "What the fuck did you say, bitch?" And these two guys are about to just fight each other. And we're like, that's not a good way to start this. It can only go downhill from here.
this is the first 3 minutes of an hour and 20-minute show.
And it started with two men almost fist fighting because apparently one of them had a hearing aid and the other guy like wooed really loud in his ear. And so they were about to fucking duke it out. And I'm like, you're too old to be doing that if you have a hearing aid. Like,
See, that's no such thing in Florida.
yeah, no such thing as too old to fight.
Florida. I learned there is no such thing as a person who won't swing on you if they're motivated enough in Florida. Like, I feel like it keeps you on guard while you're doing your sets, though. Like, people think it's crowd work, but I'm like, no. If a motherfucker swings, like, I'm gonna hurricane his ass with his fucking microphone, and then I'm gonna finish my fucking set. Like,
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen. Like,
But you also have to be fearless a little bit too. Like, I mean, I've tried to establish, like, whenever I do crowd work in places in Florida, like, I'm gonna say whatever I want, and I'm not scared of what the repercussions of what's gonna happen, even though I might actually be. Like, you kind of have to put up that front of like, I'm not scared of what you guys might do to me if I fuck.
oh yeah, I've started incorporating it into my sets almost. But just to be like, I have a line where I'm like, hey, like the suit is here, but if you can see, I'm still wearing tennis shoes. Like, I am ready to Blues Brothers out of this motherfucker at any moment. Like, I backed in. Like, and they laugh because they realize, like, oh shit, we're pretty fucking intense and intimidating. And I'm like, you are, you know, you are. But it's a good way to be like, hey, I'm not from here. And I feel like you have a town square related to some shit that's not fun, but also they look like me what you do there. Like, I'm just like,
Hey, come to Mississippi, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm from Jackson, man. I moved
Oh, are you
here.
really?
Oh, you're.
Yeah, I moved
So
to
you
Tallahassee
know.
when I was 13.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I recently went back and I noticed I had to go for my granddad's funeral. And one thing I noticed, I had to go to Batesville. And I traveled through Alabama to Batesville, and I was like, all right, Mississippi's gotten a little weird. When did you guys it was all right, here's the thing. They were so weird because I was like, Florida's racism gets like a C minus. Like
Yeah.
it's subpar racism. Now Mississippi, borderline A plus racism. Like it's just it rolls off the tongue. But the crazy thing is, there were some interactions while I was cruising through Mississippi where I was like, I feel like Mississippi just watched Black Panther. Like, because there were some really cool interactions. There was a guy in an Ole Miss shirt who just complimented me on my Venom shirt. He's like, I love comic books when I was a kid, man. You're cool as hell. And I was like, didn't get that when I was growing up. That's new. Like, when did you get upgrades?
Yeah.
People upgrades. Like, it was crazy, man. And there's giant crosses now, which is also super gnarly because I didn't know that wasn't there when I left. So when I come off the interstate going into Grenada, all I see is a giant cross, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. You guys aren't super racist as long as you're in the God. Like, that's the agreeable standard. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what color you are, but you better fucking have a cross.
Absolutely. That's the way everyone thinks. It don't matter what you are. I don't care. But you gotta believe in God, boy.
Yeah.
Like that's
that's
what it
you
is.
got God in your spirit, and I'm like, for a while, I'm driving through the state. I do. Like, don't look at my tattoos. Don't pay attention to it. It's from a different time last week.
I think
Like,
Alabama had us beat on the giant the crosses for a long time. Because Northern Alabama, woo, that is some Bible Belt country up there.
Oh yeah, it was fun, and the whole time my cousins are going, "Hey man, you gonna do a show?" And I'm like, "Nah, my show's like heathen style. I think I'm gonna skip over a couple of states, like just yeah, man. It's cool. One day I'll go to like there's certain states that are apparently like really cool. Like Georgia has a couple. Mississippi apparently has some really cool ones. Apparently Tupelo is decently not bad now, which is weird from what I hear. So
I don't know much about Tupelo, but I know the scene we have on the coast is pretty good. Because like I mean the bar that I host the open mic at, there's like stickers on the door of like legalized marijuana and all this like shit. Like it's pretty progressive. It's like a blue streak in a sea of red. You know what I mean?
Like if you blink too fast while driving, you'll miss it.
Pretty much.
Basically.
There was the democracy right there.
You're not wrong.
I'm curious though. I want you to tell me a story. What was the first show that you ever headlined?
Oh man, first show I ever headlined was at a pool hall called Pockets in Tallahassee here, which is actually coincidentally one of the first places that I played pool when I was like 13 or 14. So it was a very cool moment of being like, I learned how to play pool here. And now this is like the first place I'm headlining. I did decent. I will never say like I did good because once again, it's a pool hall. And in this pool hall, you have a mini bowling in the back. They didn't shut that shit down. So you were just in between my jokes. You would hear like if people weren't laughing, you would hear people like playing bowling or like hitting a fucking balls. Like so it was very hard. And then I had like a group of black guys be like, roast me, man. Roast me. And I'm like, I'm not fucking trying that. Tallahassee is quick to put a gun in your face. Like, we're not fucking playing that game. And coincidentally, that was like one of the things I learned how to do really quick was roast people after that. Because I was like, real thugs and gangsters want you to insult them. And it's so weird. It's so weird to see like bikers, like really buff college guys. They'll be like, come on, man, tear me apart. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if you want to play this game. with a comedian, I have nothing but time and no reason to live. Like I had an Adderall addiction. I will fucking destroy you. Like, and it's fun to watch. Like, and I've been what 6 years? I'm going in, no, 7 years now, because you got to add the pandemic year. Uh, it's been a fun ride, man. Like, I think about that show sometimes. Like, even when I'm headlining, like Pensacola, Panama City, wherever I'm going, I still think about that show sometimes when I'm like, I am still terrified. Like, I still get nervous about it. Like, fuck that
Mhm.
show. That
Hmm.
fucking show. What?
Yeah, I know I get super nervous every time I get to headline because like the first three shows, like when I finally made like my way from feature to okay, I'm gonna headline a show in Mobile, headlining in Panama City, headlining in Biloxi, I would bomb every single headlining set for whatever reason, and it just took so long to actually get over that hump. So I was wondering like if you had that same kind of thing, I guess when you went from feature to headliner, if you had that same kind of problem like getting over that hump.
All right, you're gonna fucking hate me, but the only time I have had like a bombing period was my feature time.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, now don't get me wrong. And it was, I remember having a lot of 2 and 3 years tell me I fucked myself because my very first 5 minute set, I killed it. And that like set me on a path of destruction because I was just like, I could fuck it. I got this shit. And then the first feature I did, I bombed so fucking hard that a woman asked me, "Is am I sure this is what I wanted to do?" And I just remember being like, "All right, that hurt." So like that was one of the times where I was like, all right, this sucks. Like still till this day, if I feature for someone, no matter who you are as a fucking headliner, you are going to kill it because I'm going to bomb. Like
Yeah.
I set a page on it. I can almost feel it 5 minutes before I go on stage where I'm like, everybody's killing it. Somebody's got to be the Doctor Evil of this show. Fuck. All right, it's gonna be me. Like I like because there's a point where there's some crowds where I know my opener will set the tone for how much they will hate me. like immediately. Like anybody like a racist stepdad, and it's just like,
How do you
Yeah.
judge your opener, your opening bit? Because depending on what room I'm in, waiting to go up, if I see other comedians go up before me, and I see what's working for them and what's not, then I kind of adjust what I know is going to work, probably. So how do you gauge what your opening is going to be?
um, I think sometimes it depends. If I have jokes that I've been relentlessly thinking about, and that is something that I need to voice, like that sometimes will be my opener. Like just to be like, I gotta get this fuck out. Like I don't care if it bombs. I don't care if I gotta make up the like strategic timing of everything of my energy and set. I've had some sets where I legit knew I was gonna bomb because they were new jokes. But I wanted to do a set with all these new jokes, so I was like, "This isn't for you. Like I'm like this is for me."
Hmm.
Like, and sometimes it feels good to get the new shit out to where you're just like, ah, all right, they liked that. Now let's get to this shit that I know they're gonna like. But also sometimes birds actually taught me to watch my crowd to just kind of sit in like a fucking creeper. I've done two comedians in a totally different outfit before, where I'll just watch them and I'm just like, all right, they don't like clean stuff too much, but they don't like super dirty. They didn't like the way he reacted when he said fuck a lot. That's something to remember. So don't drop the fuck bomb as a punchline because that's fucking stupid. Like you have your jokes. It's just about sometimes it's about the tone that you just feel in the room. If I've had four comedians bomb in front of me and I'm like, All right, well, I know I'm supposed to do a clean set, but they don't seem to want a clean set because
Hmm.
they had four really good clean comedians in front of them and they didn't laugh. Like they didn't enjoy themselves. So I've gone like, all right, full fledged just to be like, what the fuck? I've dropped F bombs just to be like, what's gonna happen?
Mm.
And you'll see people like giggle, and I'm like, all right, let's pep this up. Let's get it going. Not I've had the look on a manager of a restaurant space before where I'm like, I'm not getting invited back here. But also the 60 people that were in this room fucking loved me. And I guarantee if they see my face on any other poster, they'll probably come back to it. And that's been the case for a lot of places. That's why I love going to Pensacola and Panama City so much. They will relentlessly, no matter where you are doing your set, if you're a good comedian, people will come to see you. Even if it's the same fucking jokes, even if it's the same shit. I try to mix it up as best as I can, but if I just worked a 9 hour shift and drove 2 hours, you're getting your toast and eggs. I'm not
Mm.
asking you what kind of eggs you fucking like, but I will feed you. Like, that's how I've learned how to look at it. Like I love making people laugh more than I love not sticking with the credo of whatever some show is supposed to be, if
Mm.
that makes sense. Like, and that's how I judge it. I take it my own account to be like, what do the people of this show fucking want? And that's what I'm going to try to give them with my thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I fucking love eggs, dude. Um, anyways, how much comedy have you been able to do outside of Florida?
Outside of Florida, Jesus Christ. What? I think I've done 3 shows outside of Florida.
Oh
Three?
goddamn,
No,
man,
four.
you gotta
Yeah,
get on
dude.
the road, baby.
I'm terrible. Like, here's the thing, man. Tallahassee is one of those places where it's a small scene, but the scene is so available to you if you want to grasp it, to where you can do comedy every fucking week. So once you're doing like 5, 6, like 7 shows of just 5, 10 minute sets, I did years of trying to build my sets and what I wanted to do. And once I finally got to the point where I was like, all right, man, let's hit the road, let's get on it, a fucking pandemic happened.
Yeah.
So, the pandemic happened, what, like 3 weeks after my very first festival, the like Pensacola Indie Festival. Like, the fucking pandemic happened and I was like getting geared up to like send in a video to like different festivals and different kind of tapes. I was gonna come to like fucking Mississippi for the roast battle and shit. And like life just completely fucking
Mhm.
obliterated my world. So like yeah, man, I'm gonna get back out there. It's just I'm a greedy bitch. I want to be I do. I want to be the best me that I can be, and I don't ever want to like hold back because I'm like, well, I'm in a different place. Like I don't know. Like no, I get people, and people are everywhere. And if I can make Floridians laugh, I feel I'm okay if I can work on everywhere else, like when the time comes.
You
But yeah,
definitely need to get over here to Mississippi. I think you'd be surprised at what a good scene we have over here.
fuck yeah, man. No, Caleb has told me many a great things about your fucking scene. He's actually loved the shit out of it. Caleb C. Thomas has come back to this city and gone, "You need to fucking go." And I have said multiple times, "All right, we're gonna go, but I have a job, and you're living van life, which are
Yeah.
two. So those are two very different things." He's like, "I have a job too," and I'm like, "But you can do your job in your van, Caleb." So it's yeah, man. Like
Yeah, I love Caleb to death, but he is definitely a free spirit. Like he
bro,
lives in a fucking like ice cream truck van.
I love that man because he will be happy and the happiest of boys. Like Caleb is the happy that you want like out of a doll in a Disney movie. Like he brings that out of you, man. Like, and dude, like if you see him sad, seeing him sad is like seeing someone kick a puppy.
It's
You're
not
just
good, no.
no, you're just like, who hurt you? Like, who the
Mhm.
fuck hurt you? I will choke a bitch out for you, Caleb. Like, I love you. And dude, it's great. Like, I love our scene, man. It's fucking, it's bananas sometimes, but I love our scene. Like, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
You should also, if you're coming over this way, go check out New Orleans if you haven't too. Because something I tell all the comics around here is if you want to go to that next level, if you think you're going to be a good comic, go to New Orleans, and then you'll realize that you're wrong, and then you will redo everything that you thought was good. Like that's
You'll destroy your whole fucking script. Like,
yeah.
it'll fucking bring it out of you. Yeah, dude, I look forward to that kind of thing now because sometimes I do meet like the people from other places in Tallahassee. Like they'll come through Birds or they'll just be in random shows, and I will look at them and I'll be like, all right, this is the best dude in Miami. I want to see how he matches up to what I throw down, and if he bombs, that means he couldn't hack it in Panama City, and I got tips from a crackhead. So I think I'm doing all right. Like that's like the craziest thing I've ever happened to me. I had a crackhead hand me $10, and he's like, "Damn man, that was a good set." And when I unrolled the $10, there was crack in it. He tipped me $10. He tipped me $10 and crack. So that and being called Fat Dave Chappelle are like my two greatest compliments. Like, and it's so fucking crazy, dude. Like, and that's Panama City, man. Like, I love it. No matter how far I come or how far I don't make it in comedy, I will always come to Panama City just to do like a 10-minute bullshit fest. Just to
Dude,
be like, y'all's homelessness is something we need to talk about. Like, it's fucking.
I have headlined Panama City 4 or 5 different times, and every single time I think I know what to expect, and I'm entirely wrong. It is a wild fucking place.
Oh god, I had one place where I thought I was getting into like that situation where you think you're about to get like bikers, and
Mhm.
it's just gonna be like one of those shit nights. And it turned out to be at like a fucking yacht club, like House of Bourbon, and the biker bar was across the street, and I was just at the wrong place for 30 minutes, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, Jesus, yay! Like, this won't be so bad. And I go upstairs, and it's like a bridal shower or some shit. It's like nothing but 40-year-old white women, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill it. Like, this is, I've never been more confident. And I did. It was great. It was one of those nights where, like, I've never been more sure in any show where I was like, I think I'm going to do great here. All of these women, I could easily cougar bang. Like, we're going to be fine, guys. Like, and I love it because Panama City, because some shows can be a hate crime, and then some shows I get like 10 subs on my fucking OnlyFans. And I'm like, this is a fun little like trade,
It's a
and like I
50-50
love
shot, you know.
it's a true seesaw of comedy, dude.
it,
Yeah.
it touches the gambler spirit in you. You're like, what's it gonna be like this time?
Dude, you'll just sit there going down Highway 20, coming from Tallahassee, and you're just like, what the fuck's gonna happen at this show? I'm so nervous. And it's not always the show you're nervous about. It's the before and after you get on stage. Like the set you're more comfortable about than any other point of the night. You're like, all right, I got to get into Panama City. I may need gas. Let's go ahead and look up where we're getting. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I have been accosted by homeless people and people in suits, and both of them were like, "What the fuck?" It's, God, man. That city is chaotic, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love going to it. It's like doing comedy in the Thunderdome. You're just like, oh, all right, let's do a 10-minute set with a dude with an axe in the corner. Let's see if we can
Man.
he's he smells like oil. What?
And if people listening to this think we're just trying to be funny about and just making up shit about Florida, no, it's really like that. Like Florida
that's actually
is
how it is.
Florida's crazy.
I tell everyone.
I
tell people that all the time.
It's a different experience every time I go there. I never know what I'm gonna get into when I go to Florida. It's nuts, especially Pensacola. Like that place is an adventure. Whether it's either gonna every time I go, I know it's either gonna be a good adventure or something really horrible is gonna happen to me or
Oh yeah. You know those the scenes in the Fable where you see the like fork in the road and you see the like really scary side and then sometimes you see the sunny side. Panama City is what happens when that fork like comes back around and that's the same fucking neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's like no matter what, it can seem like a sunny day, but you might get shot at nothing to do with you. Or it could be storming and you found $2,000 on the like fucking ground. Like it can go either fucking way. And I love it. I just fucking love it.
Actually, the last show that we did with you was the night we were at the I forgot the name of the place.
O'Reilly's Irish Pub.
O'Reilly's
downtown.
Irish Pub. And it was a fantastic show. It was a great show, but our car got towed.
Our car got towed, yeah.
Holy shit, your car got towed that night?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So then we had to take an Uber. We had to take an Uber out in the middle of nowhere. And we get to the lot and we were like, okay, we're here. And the Uber guy was like, look, I'm not just going to leave you here. I'm going to wait until he lets you guys in because this is not the neighborhood you want to be in the middle of the night.
And also, he wasn't supposed to give us our car back because my mom, who, by the way, that's whose car got towed was my mom's car.
Oh no!
She didn't have proof of insurance in her car, so the guy is not supposed to give it to us. And we were just kept being like, "Dude, we're comedians. We're here for a show. You want to hear a joke? We're gonna fucking get this car, man. We have the key. We have the key to the car. It's unlocked. Look, the car's unlocked.
That's amazing."
So yeah, we had to beg for our car back. And no one in Pensacola warned us about the fucking road work that we apparently parked in front of that got our car towed.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was what I was about to ask you, man. I was about to say, I have seen people in Panama City park in some sketch-ass places and never seen a tow truck. So what the fuck were you guys doing?
Dude, Pensacola is one of those places that, like, you can only park in certain places at certain parts of the day.
Yeah.
And if you're not paying attention to like the sign that says when or how long you can park somewhere, your ass is getting towed because the second that meter runs out, those tow trucks are like waiting and ready to tow your ass.
Yeah, dude, they're like fucking Christine, just waiting to run your ass over, dude.
I used to work on a tow truck. So I naturally just look for those signs, and I've never thought about it. I've always called you people dumbasses. Where I'm like, how the fuck do you not see that fucking sign? Like you fucking idiot. Like you see the sign.
They had them on sandwich boards though, so we thought it was for advertising for a business.
Yeah, but it was a sandwich. It was like handwritten on a sandwich board. Don't park here after 11. We're like, did it? Nobody saw. Like, how did we not see this? Like, it was like handwritten on a sandwich board. Don't park here after 11. And
also 18 other cars got towed. By the way, so
and we had a plan too. Me and Jacob were kind of off in the corner. Like, okay, here's what's gonna happen. We got the keys to the car. If he doesn't give us the car, you and your mom distract him. I'm going to go out, climb the fence, get in the car. I'm going to bust through the fence. You guys are going to run out, get in the car, and we're going to haul ass. That's what's going to happen.
We were planning on stealing our own car back and just never coming to Pensacola.
I think I even asked your mom. I was like, are you going to be okay with some damage to the front of the car? Because I'm going to ram the fence to get out.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
But
Yeah.
luckily,
Well,
that guy was just done with his job for the night and was like, "You can have it back."
Yeah.
Please take your car. Please take your fucking car. Stop dancing. Take your fucking car.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good. Like,
We
that's
are coming up on
terrifying.
the end of the show. Tekk, it's been awesome talking to you again, man. It's been too damn long since we've
I
seen you.
love you.
Love you too, man.
Love you too, buddy.
You got to come over here. We've got to get back over to Florida. We got to get this
Yeah, dude.
network
Well,
thing going again.
one of us has to travel through the no man's land.
Nobody
of the
wants to
Bible
go through
Belt.
Alabama. Is there any way we can circumvent Alabama somehow?
You're like,
I'll get a boat.
you
How
know,
about that?
no one's gonna invent teleportation faster than a fucking comedian, man. Like, let me tell you what happened. All right, I'll be there in a second. I get
Yeah.
to skip Georgia. Like, oh man, that's good shit. I love you guys so much.
But
man.
you
It's
got
been
any
good.
got any shows you want to plug or social media you want to plug before we get out of here tonight?
What? Comedian Tekk Johnson on Instagram. You can find me on Pensacola on Friday night at the Black Sheep Tavern. You can find me in a movie called Frankenweed on YouTube. It's a
Awesome.
stupidly funny, like, yeah, it's a super funny, like, high ass stoner movie. It's great. It's got some like stoner comedy mixed with some horror shit. I worked with some really funny, amazing women to do it, and I'm super proud of it sometimes. And then sometimes I'm like, I did a movie. Yes, I did. And that's all I want to say for it. But today I love it and I'm plugging it. So Frankenweed, go check it out on YouTube. Love you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, that sounds exactly up our listener
Yeah.
base's alley. So
Yeah.
you're probably gonna get some hits on Frankenweed after this episode.
No, please do, man. It's a great movie, and we weren't able to premiere it because we were going to do it April 4/20, 2020, and we end up not able to
Oh.
do it because of the pandemic.
Damn.
So please go look up Frankenweed, post about it, and make it awesome because it's an awesome movie and it deserves to be amazing. I'm amazing in it, and therefore you should see the glory.
Well, awesome. Well, if you would like to get a hold of us, please, if you know anybody that wants to come on the show, if you know anybody that wants to do open mic comedy, go over to the Juke Joint Tuesday nights if you're on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Our very own Mr. Jacob Craig hosts the show over there now every Tuesday, 8 p.m. We had actually a pretty good show last night.
It was all right, yeah.
Yeah, well, I missed the last few nightmares that you apparently had, but I'm glad that I
Yes.
missed those.
All right.
But yeah, if you're local to the Gulf Coast and you want to do open mic comedy, write up a couple of minutes and go see Mr. Jacob Craig at the Juke Joint on Tuesday nights. And you can follow us at Open Micers on Twitter, at Open Micers on Instagram. OM Podcast takes you to our Patreon, where you can be like that dirty BJ DeBlow, that dirty BJ DeBlow, and Mr. Mike Evelyn, because he's our newest patron. They keep our lights on here, and we will see you guys next week. Actually, I have that.
Until this day will always be like one of my favorite sound bites of just out of nowhere. Just...
Awesome.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
a great show, man. And
Yeah, that was such a refreshing episode. Yes.
yeah. Actually, let me go ahead and tell everybody goodbye. Say goodbye to everybody on Twitch, and we'll see you guys back here next week.
Bye.